Donald Trump's second impeachment trial and his second acquittal. The former president issued a statement calling the whole thing, quote, a witch hunt. His son Eric, whose Twitter account is still active, tweeted simply, 2-0.
This latest acquittal comes 1 year and 8 days after Democrats first tried and failed to convict Trump. Overnight, President Joe Biden put out a statement reading in part, this sad chapter in our history has reminded us that democracy is fragile and that each of us has a duty and responsibility as Americans, and especially as leaders, to defend the truth and to defeat the lies.
7 Republicans voted to convict Trump. At least one is already feeling the political backlash. Louisiana's Republican Party saying it has unanimously voted to censure Senator Bill Cassidy because he voted to convict. ABC congressional correspondent Rachel Scott with us again on Capitol Hill with more on the historic vote. Rachel, good morning.
Whit, good morning. And this was an impeachment trial unlike any other in our nation's history. The first for a former president. All of the jurors, witnesses themselves, and the case tried at the scene of the crime inside the Senate chamber. The final day full of twists and turns, but it ended in an outcome that Republicans said was all but certain all along. Donald Trump acquitted for a second time. This morning, former President Donald Trump acquitted again.
He is hereby acquitted of the charge.
This time on the charge of incitement of insurrection. Just over a month after violent mobs stormed the U.S. Capitol, breaking into the very chamber where the case was tried, and a majority of the senators, 57, voting to convict. 7 Republicans breaking ranks, joining every Democrat finding Trump guilty, but it was still short of the 2/3 necessary to convict. And moments after Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell voted to acquit, he delivered this blistering rebuke, placing the blame squarely on Trump.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it.
McConnell standing by his decision, insisting trying a former president is unconstitutional.
If President Trump were still in office, I would have carefully considered whether the House managers proved their specific charge.
And Democrats were outraged by his words, noting that it was McConnell who refused to start the trial while Trump was still in office.
It was a very disingenuous speech, and I say that regretfully because I always want to be able to work with the leadership of the other party.
The trial was quick, but wrong and emotional. And on the final day, a curveball. 5 Republicans voting with Democrats to call witnesses, hear depositions, see more evidence. Lead House impeachment manager Jamie Raskin said he wanted to subpoena Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler.
Needless to say,